welcome to this book reading video. I'm so excited to tell you that Millie and Cat's Christmas is now available on Amazon Marketplace. I've linked it in the description box so you can check it out. If you have your very own copy of the book, then you can read along with me. Are you sitting comfortably? Let's begin. Millie and Cat's Christmas by F. Sibley. The house smelt of cinnamon and freshly baked mince pies. There were lights all around the room and a beautiful garland hanging on the fireplace. The Christmas tree was tall and spiky. The lights on its branches sparkled like 100 tiny stars. Millie was busy decorating Christmas cards. There was glitter glue, stickers, crayons and sequins. She really had made a bit of a mess. Even Cat had got some glitter glue on his paws. She finished her sticking and picked up the Christmas cards to go and show Mum. But she couldn't find her. She wasn't on the sofa or decorating the Christmas tree. Millie and Cat stopped to look up at the branches covered in decorations all the way to the top. The sparkly star glittered and twinkled. Millie wondered how it had got so high up. Cat followed her out of the room, past the stockings waiting for presents, and into the hallway. There was tinsel on the banister, all the way up the stairs, and it shone in the warm light, but Mum wasn't there. They found Christmas lights and mistletoe, cookies, cake, and falling snow, dancing and swirling in coiling flusters outside the window. Mr. Spindle sat in his web, knitting a winter hat for himself, but he hadn't seen Mum either. "Mum!" yelled Millie. "Over here." She followed the reply into the kitchen. Mum was sitting at the kitchen table next to Baby in his high chair. That smelt good. But Mum had finished baking and was lifting a box onto the table. "What's in there?" Millie asked curiously as she clambered onto a chair to get a better look. The box was big and white. It looked old and dusty. Millie thought it might be a present, but it didn't have any wrapping paper on it. Cat came and sat beside Millie's feet. "This is a nativity," replied Mum, opening the lids and lifting a strangely shaped wooden object out of the box. She sat it down on the table so Millie could see it. The nativity looked like a tiny doll's house. It had 3 walls and a triangle roof. Inside, the floor was covered in straw. Millie spotted sheep and donkeys. There were other figures too. 3 men in bright colours, 2 more holding sheep, a lady dressed in blue, and a man kneeling down looking at a baby. Millie stretched out her hand and touched the little baby sleeping in the straw, wrapped in a blanket. "What's it all about, Mum?" Nativity means birth. It's all about the first Christmas, when baby Jesus was born. Shall I tell you about it?" Millie nodded and climbed onto Mum's lap. A long time ago, in a place called Nazareth, there lived a girl called Mary. Mum picked up the little figure from the nativity and handed it to Millie. She had a smiling face and was wearing a blue headscarf and dress. Mary was going to marry a man called Joseph. "Is that Joseph?" Millie asked, picking up the figure of the man who was knelt beside the baby. "That's right. Now one day, an angel visited Mary to give her a message from God. The angel told her that she was going to have a baby." "The baby Jesus?" Millie asked, picking up the little figure and placing him next to Mary and Joseph on the table. "Yes. God put the baby Jesus in Mary's tummy. Do you remember when baby was in my tummy, Millie?" Millie nodded and giggled. Your tummy was big and round with baby inside it. It was. And that's how Mary's tummy would have looked too. She told Joseph all about what the angel had told her, and an angel visited Joseph in a dream to tell him that Mary was telling the truth. Now, at that time, the king of the land wanted all his people to go to a place where they had been born so that they could be counted. So Mary and Joseph had to take a long journey, riding on a donkey, to a town called Bethlehem. When they got there, they were very tired, so they looked for somewhere to sleep for the night. They knocked on lots of doors and asked everyone they saw, but all the rooms in Bethlehem were full of people. There was nowhere left to stay. Finally, a kind innkeeper said that even though he had no room for them to stay, they could sleep in his stable. A stable is where animals are kept. Millie looked at the tiny stable with the animals and straw inside it. It looked cosy, but the straw would be scratchy to sleep on, and the animals might smell. That night, baby Jesus was born in the stable. Dad walked into the room and joined in listening to the story. He sat down next to baby and stroked Cat's fluffy ears as he plodded over to say hello. God wanted everyone to know that Jesus had been born, continued Mum. He sent angels to tell shepherds the good news. Shepherds are people who look after sheep in the fields. When the shepherds heard about Jesus, they came to see him and worship him because Jesus is the Son of God. Millie picked up the little men and smiled at the fluffy sheep in their arms. What about these men? Asked Millie, putting down the shepherds and picking up 3 figures all dressed in bright colours. They are the wise men, Mum replied. God put a bright star in the sky for the wise men to follow. It led them to Jesus. They gave him presents and worshipped him because they knew that he was the Son of God and would one day save the world. Wow, Millie said, putting all the little figures back in the nativity set. Pretty cool, isn't it? Said Mum. We celebrate Christmas to remember Jesus being born. I've got an idea, said Dad. Why don't we all dress up? Millie giggled. Yeah, you can be Joseph, Dad. I'm going to be an angel. She jumped off Mum's lap, running out the room and up the tinsel-covered stairs to her bedroom. She found a lovely white dress with silver wings for her angel costume. Soon they were all dressed up and having fun. I love Christmas, said Millie. Where can you read about the Nativity in the Bible? The Bible is a book that tells us all about God. God chose lots of different people to write the Bible and told them what to write. Inside the Bible are lots of different books. Most of them are named after the person who wrote them down. In each book there are chapters, and in each chapter there are verses. This helps us to remember where to find things. The Bible teaches us about how we should live and how we can follow Jesus. The birth of Jesus can be found in 2 different books in the Bible, Matthew 1-2 and Luke 1-3. If you have a Bible, you can read all about Jesus being born. First find the book, Matthew or Luke, then find the chapters which are shown as big numbers. The little numbers next to the words divide the chapters into verses. If you don't have a Bible, ask a grown-up to find one for you so you can learn more about Jesus. From crazy crafts to baking, Millie and Cat's Christmas also comes with super fun activities for your Christmas holidays. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out Millie and Cat's Christmas to get your very own copy using the Amazon link in the description box below. Did you love Millie and Cat's Christmas? Why not check out Millie and Cat Find a Friend, available on Amazon Marketplace. Check out the book reading video here on YouTube.